Protecting Mental Health, Be the Self-Starter. Series 3. Diving into Our Emotional Worlds. Episode 3. Battling the Torrent of Grief. The loss of a significant person in our life is like falling into a torrent, battling against the rough waves without knowing what is ahead. This episode aims to demystify grief and unveil the challenge in adapting to a new life without the deceased. With a better understanding of the needs of the bereaved, hopefully we can render appropriate support to them with high sensitivity. The emotional impact of the loss. During grief rapids, the bereaved try all means to contain their emotional pains with the hope of finding a way out of the traumatic loss. Some try not to feel the unbearable pain with the fear that it causes disruption to their vulnerable daily lives. For instance, they will avoid any triggers of the pain by disposing of or giving out those deceased-related items to friends or relatives immediately. Some move out of the place where they once lived with the deceased. However, there are also bereaved who are afraid that they will lose memories of the deceased and their experience instantly. Hence, they cannot help looking back at the albums or locking themselves up in the place where they have lived together. It is not uncommon to hear that some bereaved say that they feel themselves frozen, as if they were in the refrigerator. They are afraid of feeling overwhelmed. There are also some who say that they cry for no reason, and sometimes when they encounter funny situations and laugh unconsciously, they feel guilty as they think that they do not deserve happiness as a survivor. The snapshot of the above grief experiences unveils the idiosyncratic ways of managing the emotional pains of loss in the bereaved. I deeply feel their desperate attempt to search their needs and wants in getting out of the whirlpool of grief. Repositioning self in the loss. Grief is a journey, and recovery is also a journey. According to Strobe and Schutt, 1999, the bereaved are oscillating in the dual process between loss and restoration. The process requires the bereaved to adjust between looking backwards at the past, at life with the deceased, and accepting the loss, interspersed with looking forward to the future life without them, finding a continuing bonding and new meaning in living a life without the deceased. Lloyd, 2018. The process to recovering from the loss is iterative, gradual and without prescribed limit. Be compassionate to the wounded self. With a better understanding of idiosyncrasy of grief, we need to have compassion to self if we were the bereaved and take care of our emotional wound in the loss of a significant other. In this torrent of sadness, let's stay open to the generous offer of help from a trusted one who offers us space and time to stand by us. We need to remind ourselves that grief has no timeline, and it is unwise to exert pressure on ourselves to get over it by a given time. However, to have energy to battle the torrent of grief, we need to keep healthy daily routine for personal well-being. Support the bereaved. As relatives, friends, or colleagues of the bereaved, how can we help them? First, we need to know our own limitations and the kind of support we can provide. For instance, in terms of practical support, we can make it clear to the bereaved if we can take care of the elderly and children in their families or by the daily necessities at this difficult moment. If we can offer the space to listen to them, we can state clearly when we are available. For instance, we can say, "I am here for you if you want to talk." However, we need to be aware of negative communication and unhelpful comments. For instance, "You'll get over it," or "I can get over it and you should be able to make it too." They are inappropriate because they are either prescriptive or assumptive. It also exerts pressure on the bereaved to make unhelpful comparisons to our experience. During grief, grievers tend to dwell on negativity. It is more appropriate to support them with positive words and expressions to calm negative thoughts and emotions. What the grievers need most is emotional support by recognizing their pains and understanding the impact of the losses by listening to them. Summary. Bereavement is an important blow in life, The process of grief is a painful change process in living a new life without the deceased. Let's support the bereaved with empathy and high sensitivity when offering support. Author: Dr. S.P. Chan, Doctor of Psychotherapy and Counselling, The University of Edinburgh, UK. Master of Science in Mental Health, the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Master of Science in Psychiatry, Cardiff University, UK. The 5th of May 2023.